on this episode of the Grand Circle Tour podcast.
I'm going to let our passengers pick where I'm staying in August.
What?
So I'm going to
Star
put
Wars
it
Hotel.
Yeah.
It's to be something I have points for and available. Loving a roller coaster.
That's like one of the best cues ever, I think. It's so happy and colorful, and I just love it. Signing off now.
Loving a roller coaster.
The future is bright indeed. We're all of us dreaming of the better days ahead, and a part of your bright new future could be a move to where the magic lives in the greater Orlando area of Florida. One of the biggest decisions you'll make when considering a move is selecting a realtor who can successfully match you with the right home in the right location at the right price. Victor Naraki is the realtor who can help you make the move you've always wanted to. Whether you're a first-time homeowner or looking to move near Disney World, Victor is in your corner. If you are looking for an experienced real estate agent covering all of Central Florida, please visit DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com today and find out just why you should work with Victor. I encourage you to create a free, no-obligation account on his website. By doing so, you'll unlock the website's full potential and be able to enter specific criteria, save listings, and browse new properties sent to your email. Visit DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com today or visit his Facebook page, Victor Naraki Realtor. And don't forget to tell him the Grand Circle Tour podcast sent you.
Hey gang, welcome to another adventure of the Grand Circle Tour podcast. I am Stan Solo, and joining me today are my two favorite co-hosts. We're going to go ladies first. Hollywood, Crawford, how are you today? And Waltz up.
I am doing good. It always cracks me up because we're chatting, and all of a sudden he just goes right into character.
Right in. Don't catch your breath. You just got to get right into show mode.
Exactly. So tomorrow, after I dropped the kiddos off at school, a friend and I are heading to Disneyland. And yes, I just went there Tuesday and Friday, but this is different because we're going for just several hours during the day, just a girlfriend and I. So it should be a lot of fun and hopefully not as busy. So
Tomorrow's Monday. Might not be too busy. Yeah. Well, we'll have to get a report of how
and it's supposed to be
was.
Beautiful too. So
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Conductor Dan, how are you? And Waltz up.
Stan, you're a big Star Wars fan, right?
That's what I heard.
You ever notice that the R2 units and the BB units, they don't eat? Do you know why? Or they're never hungry. They're never hungry. Yeah, because BB ate.
You know he's doing this, right? A dad joke at the beginning every time he's on.
Alrighty, moving along. What Waltz up, Dan?
I have this great idea. This is not a joke. This is the real thing. I'm booking my trip in August. I went on the DVC website and I got the list of hotels, and this is what I decided to do. I'm going to let our passengers pick where I'm staying in August.
What?
So I'm going to
Star
put
Wars
it
Hotel.
Yeah.
It's to be something I have points for and available. So I think the options I looked yesterday. I think the options are Bay Lake, Beach Club, a Savannah View at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Wink, wink. Let's try to push that one.
That'd be good.
Or some of the others like Key West, Saratoga, obviously. But I think
Why don't you do the Star Wars Hotel?
It's
It
on
will
DVC.
take all his points.
It takes
for, like-
DVC.
yeah, but all of
The
his
Star
points for
Cruiser
like
takes
70.
DVC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's
a
like
ton of them.
295 points, I think, per person. Is that a lot of points?
I mean, it's a
I don't-
lot, but I would have thought it was a lot more than that.
Let
It's
me
a
look.
lot. It's a lot. I can't remember how many it is.
I have 165 a year.
You know what? I think it might be 168. That's what I'm thinking. I was that seems to ring a bell.
You can bank and borrow, right? So I could
Yeah.
bank last year's points, and I could borrow half of next year's points.
How long are you going for?
We're only going for a couple nights.
Perfect. Star Wars Hotel. Couple nights. That's
Hold
all
on,
you
I
get.
got it right here.
but
Hold
then
on,
we're
I got it.
spending almost a week at Vero Beach, so I need points for that.
Okay.
It's 295 points on the weekdays, and on weekends it's 316. for the first and second.
It's a bit more than.
But is it per person?
Yeah. And then a child as a second person is a little bit less. It's $269 on the weekday and $290 on the weekends.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
If you're
that's
going solo, it's $590.
That actually seems like a bargain. I mean, doesn't that seem like? I don't know, I have to do
What?
the math. I mean,
You just
DVC
said that you have how many? 165 a year.
Yes.
So you'd have to.
But
I mean,
how much does a week cost? I don't know. I'd have to do the math. I'd have to figure it out because it would probably be I wouldn't be able to use them for 3 years and use all 3 of them together, and then probably.
Oh, that's something for you to think about.
yeah, it'd be like 4 years worth of your points.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way to do it.
I don't think that's worth it because
Probably
a
isn't.
night because
You're right.
a week at one of the resorts is like $1,500 to $2,200.
Yeah.
So-
But that's a standard resort. That's not the Halcyon. You're not flying in space when you're on a regular resort.
Just for
You're not
perspective.
defeating the first order.
Perspective. The DV. So I was doing 4 nights at Vero, and that was going to be about 75 points, maybe a little more. 80 points.
But you also have to take into consideration that doesn't include food or
No.
any entertainment or whatever. So you're going to post this on our page. Is that how you're going to have people vote?
Exactly. I'm going to do a little poll on our Facebook page. And I think that's a cool way to decide where I'm going next, is to have the passengers pick. What do you think?
Yeah. If you're really going to listen to them.
Yeah, of course.
What happens if there's a write-in for the Star Wars Hotel?
It has to be something I have points for, though. That's the rule. And it has to be available. So,
yeah.
All right.
Here it's
sounds
available.
good.
I hear that. I have
Is it not selling out?
I heard it's not selling out as much. I think all of there's every single cruise in June is open, and every single cruise in July there's openings. I heard. Rumor. I don't know.
Are they going to have to reduce rates, do you think?
I got a feeling what's going to end up happening is that you're going to see perks eventually. I could be wrong. I'm just my own self thinking. Maybe you'll get a drink package where you get like 3 drinks during your stay, or you get a Jedi roll.
We kind of talked about this last week, and I'll put it on record right now. 5 years from now, no way will it be reduced. It's only going to be higher. That's what my. And if they do give perks, okay, they give perks. But like, I don't know, a drink package, is that? How much am I really?
Well, yeah, if they're like $18 to $22 a.
All right, so instead of spending, I said this last week, but instead of spending $5,000, I spend, $5,200.
Yeah, but people don't think like that. They think, hey, I get
hotel.
something free if I go. You know what I mean? That's what people think. I get something free if they go. So, well,
So
we'll see how it goes.
Stan, do you have a
my wall
World Cup
stuff.
first?
Yeah, thank you for asking. Okay, mine's kind of a weird one. It's not really very Disney, but I'm guessing this must have been about 6-8 months ago. I started getting these weird. I don't know where they're coming from or who's sending them or anything, but I get these weird parcels in the mail, and it's like they'll come like once a month, or it'll be like 2 in 1 week, and it's like a poster of a monkey, or like stuff like that.
Time out. Was
What?
it you, Stan? Is it you or is it Holly? I know it's one of you.
What are you talking about?
I've been getting that.
Hang on, you've been getting that also?
Yes. And
So have I. So have I.
I'm thinking maybe is it a listener, or I asked my wife, I asked my kids if
Is
they
it
kind
really
of
not?
joke.
Are you guys messing
That's
with me?
why I'm so quiet right now, because I'm like, wait. And then you jump in, I'm like, okay, this is weird.
Okay.
I thought it was like, how I've seen it on like Facebook, like Amazon sellers will randomly send you stuff so they can do like reviews. That's what I thought it was. And then
Okay, so
Dude, tell us your
this
story
is
now.
going way off the rails here, but I've been getting it. I contacted Amazon, and I have a weekly phone call with a manager trying to get the person who's sending it, and they will not send it. But I have, sorry, Holly, I'm accusing you here. They did tell me that the person's first name started with a C. And Holly, your husband's first name starts with a C, right? So I asked if that was the person, and they said no.
But it's coming from Amazon?
Amazon is the person that I would talk
Okay,
to.
because
I
the
found
account is under, we have Prime, it's under my name. So it would have to be an H.
See.
So Stan, you're getting them too?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I have any
it's like
around
little
here.
keychains and like a ball that's rolled up like a monkey, like a rubber ball that has like a monkey in it type of thing. It's ridiculous.
And why are you bringing this up as your what's up, Stan?
Because I'm wondering if I can't think of who it is. So I'm thinking it might be a listener.
I don't trust
I'm
my
surprised
co-host. I'm sorry.
I'm surprised this didn't come up in the mailbag one then.
Yeah.
I've been trying to I didn't want to like tell people that it's been upsetting me, how much as it's been upsetting me, in case you guys were behind it. Like I didn't want you guys to get the satisfaction.
My wife is thinking I got a girlfriend or something. I go, they wouldn't be sending me monkeys. Like seriously.
But Holly and I are the ones that are afraid of the monkeys.
Yeah, it's weird,
right?
Yeah, it's weird.
We need to ask everybody else.
Like if it was like I don't want to say what I'm afraid of now. Alrighty. Well, if you're the one setting it, please let us know. We wanna get to the bottom of this.
And it starts with a C. And you start with a C.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I've never dug into it.
What about that Chris that posts pictures of us, pictures on our group all the time? Chris Ialardi?
Well, let's not start accusing people on that.
Yeah, we shouldn't.
Right? It's just being recorded and you're accusing people.
Okay.
Well, that was pretty funny though.
That was okay. We'll get to the bottom of this eventually.
I still don't believe them. I think it's one of them that are behind it, and they're just using this for reverse psychology. But we'll see what happens.
Dan, you know how much shipping costs to go from Canada?
That's true.
I'm not that rich.
I want to show you something but I don't have anything right here that I received, and I want to see if it's the same thing.
Yeah, did we get the same products?
I don't know. We're gonna have to show.
The last thing I got had a gift receipt, and that was my lead that I got through with Amazon, and it was from Amazon.
Okay, but I haven't had any in Amazon boxes though.
Yeah, it wasn't in an Amazon box, but it was one of those Amazon like notes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the little printouts.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to the show. We're like
10. Oh, we're 11 minutes in. Let's
let's get to the show already. So let's talk. We're going to talk Disney Hollywood Studios. Like that's my favorite park, and there's an awful lot of little hidden things. Like people always talk about the hidden things at Magic Kingdom and the different little things you could hunt and find, and Disneyland has as well. And these are great, but Disney Hollywood Studios seems to get left in the dust all the time when it comes to this. And there's a ton of just tributes to cast to Imagineers. There's like little hidden side jokes and things that you can go and find and see when you're there. So I thought we talk a little bit about that. We didn't talk ahead of time about what we have or anything like that. We probably have all the same ones. There's like
all the same 5.
We have the same 5 each of us.
I purposely tried to go a little obscure because I figured that was going to happen.
Yeah, I kind of did the same thing too. So let's start with Holly there. Holly, what's your first one?
Well, I'm glad you guys did, because this is the park that I know very little about. In fact, the last time I was there, I kept saying, when did they put this in? And it's always been there. So
it was Tower of Terror.
Yeah, well, that was the ad that she came across. She sent us a picture of and go, when did this get here? And then there's the Muppet Theater, and then the Tower of Terror.
It's so funny. So Gertie, right? I never understood why Gertie was there. Just thought it was a cute little dinosaur to take photos just out there. But I had no idea that it was a tribute to the first animated film. And I don't know much about this animated film.
It's from the
Flintstones. What?
The Flintstones. The first animated film.
What?
I'm joking.
Oh. And as you know, Gertie actually has like an ice cream stand, right? And so there's a tagline in the movie that says, Gertie, she's a scream. So they said that an ice cream stand just seemed like the logical tribute. So now I know why Gertie's there. I had no idea what this dinosaur had anything to do with this park.
Yeah, that's a really good one. That is a good one. And I'm sure a lot of people don't know. They just think that it's
something cute.
Yeah. the studios.
I still don't know why it's there though. Like, yes, it makes sense if it's an ice cream stand. I get that part. But like, why? Why?
Yeah, well,
why
that's just it. Like you're right though. Like Echo Lake is based on Echo Lake Park in Hollywood, which was a reservoir that LA made, or Southern California, wherever they made this man-made reservoir, and they ended up doing film studios around it.
But I guess it's because it's based on a film studio, right? MGM Studios.
Mm-hmm.
So they were trying to put movie-related items in there. Would be
I guess
my reason it's there, but.
Dan?
All right.
Dan's not sold.
All right, my turn?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll go right when you walk into the park. You know the little gas station there? It's actually I think it's a stroller rental place, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. On one of the pumps, what's the price on it? Do you guys know?
It's $6 a gallon.
That's down the street for me.
Current gas prices, $5,188.9, which is what?
$5,188.9. Okay, well the park opened May 1st, 1989.
That's it. You got the numbers wrong. You misheard me, Stan. It's 5,189 is the number,
okay,
and that's exactly what it is. It's the date
that was number one on my list. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Every time I walk in, I pop my head over and look at that.
And then you pull up your car and then your jerry can and.
Not yet. Next time.
Yeah.
What do you have, Stan?
Okay, so mine. Okay, I'm going to have us. Okay, so we're heading down Hollywood Boulevard, heading towards the Chinese Theater, and then when you go left at the corner of Hollywood and Vine, and then right is the Keystone Street, and there's the Keystone Clother store.
Okay.
Like, what are you saying?
Yeah. So there's that little Coca-Cola refreshment stand that's there.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So it when it first opened, they sold like comic books and magazines and stuff like that when the park first opened.
Oh, really?
Is what that originally was. It was a newsstand. Yeah.
Cool.
So, but when the Rocketeer came out, they wanted to promote the Rocketeer and they wanted to include that into the park. So they changed it to PV's Polar Pipeline. And that's when they started selling the Coca-Cola refreshments and they wanted to theme it. So when you look at it, there's like a welding tank in the front of it, like an old-fashioned welding tank and whatnot. And you kind of think like, why does the Coca-Cola refreshment stand have welding tanks on it? Because it's based on the Rocketeer, and the guy that PV Peabody was the name that was the mechanic in the Rocketeer. So he had that stuff. But if you look off to the side, you'll see there's actually the Rocketeer backpack, and that's a prop from the movie that's inside that kiosk, as well as the Rocketeer helmet is on top of it.
Oh.
And the menu itself is actually, if you look at the menu that's on the side of the building, it's the blueprints of the rocket itself that the menu is written on, which is cool. Pretty cool.
Very cool.
Plus, there's on the other side on the wall, there's a newspaper, and it's the Rocketeer newspaper with the headline about the Rocketeer on the newspaper, as well as there's a pennant on the wall, and the pennant is about the circus, the Bigelow's Air Circus, and there's a date on it, and it's the same date that the Rocketeer had his first flight, and that's when he saves that pilot on the plane. And so the whole thing is themed to Rocketeer, that whole little kiosk, and there's a bunch of little tributes there, including props that were used in the film.
Very cool.
They should actually give out a booklet or something about all this stuff, because what's the point of having all of these if nobody really knows about it?
Or they can listen to a podcast.
I knew you guys were going to say that. I knew it. Before I even said that.
Alrighty, Holly.
Okay, so Epcot and Hollywood Studios are so close in proximity to each other that you can actually see Tower of Terror from Epcot. So they had to make it the same colors to blend into Morocco. So when you can see it from Hollywood Studios. So that's interesting.
See it from Epcot.
You could see it from actually the Norway.
Yes, sorry.
pavilion.
Yes, I know I was saying that wrong, but I wonder if anything's going to change with that if they end up completely changing Morocco at all.
The best view is when you're standing in Norway. You can see it really, really well.
Oh, okay, cool. That's good to know.
Yes, the colors are exactly the same. The Morocco colors and Tower Terror in the background.
Yeah, it's that's really good. I actually had that one on my list too, so I'll have to cross that off.
Well, I think you have like 40, so I think we're good.
Yeah. All right, Dan.
Cool. All right, I'm going to talk about the Backlot Express. You guys know what that is? The quick service, the Backlot Express. It's
The restaurant?
Yeah, well, it's a quick service.
Quick service restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah, it's open air. Very nice. Has a great Cuban sandwich, by the way. That's not what my
Is that where they sell the beer too? I
think they have beer there.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
but
there's beer everywhere at Hollywood Studios now.
I was just gonna say, yeah, probably.
You can dine inside as well as open air.
I don't know. Can you? I don't know.
Yeah. There's inside as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and it's very well themed inside.
The theme is that of a backlot, right? And it's got all different props and everything. And one of the props there, if you look all the way tucked into the far corner, you're gonna see something that looks like a kind of like a go-kart. Go ahead on Google and Google the pictures. And it might just look like a regular go-kart to you. In reality, it's actually what Benny the Cab from Roger Rabbit, right? Everyone know Benny, the cartoon. Yep. When Eddie was riding in Benny, they actually had to use a little go-kart, like to actually move around.
Oh.
So that's the real prop from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
That's cool.
And it's the actual Benny the Cab without the cartoon part of it.
Yeah, cool.
That is really good.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, I'm going to stick with the Roger Rabbit theme. Above the Hollywood and Vine restaurant, there's a window, and it has Eddie Valent, Private Investigations, All Crime, Surveillance, Missing Persons. So that's supposed to be Eddie Valent's office.
That's cute.
From Roger Rabbit. And in one of the windows, there's actually the glasses cut out in the shape of Roger Rabbit, as well as the blinds, like the scene where he flies through the window. Now, what was really cool, now this was before they built Galaxy's Edge and they destroyed all the backlot area and all that. It used to be the Art of Animation, or the animation building at the far end of the park, at the opposite end of the park. They used to have on the side of the building that exact same cutout, like he went through that wall, like he went that fast, and he went not only through the blinds and through the window, he went through the brick wall at the animation building at the other end of the park. So that's a little bit of a Roger Rabbit in there.
Also in that area, they used to, in the very beginning, have the actual steamroller there from the movie, like the actual steamroller.
In the backlot area.
Yep, in the backlot area.
That's really cool. The other thing in that same area was there's Eddie Valent's office, and there's a sign in the window saying no actors allowed. Now, originally, it did not say no actors allowed when they made it Eddie Valent's office. It originally said no tunes allowed, because Eddie Valent didn't like tunes as a detective, because he killed his partner. So a Disney executive saw that sign and said, we can't have that sign there, because we are Disney, we like tunes. So they actually had them change it to no actors allowed. And that is kind of a tribute to, I guess, back in the 1920s, a lot of apartment buildings wouldn't rent to actors because they were known to have parties and skip out on their bills and be noisy.
They can't pay their bills.
So that's why it says no actors allowed.
Now, here's what's ironic about that whole thing is that tunes, while Disney does like tunes, are not real, while actors are. And this was an actual movie studio where actors were actually there. So so there's Disney's way of thinking right there.
Well, the other thing too is it was right above the 50s primetime restaurant, was it the 50s Hollywood and Vine restaurant, where they do the character meet and greet. So Mickey and Minnie are running around, and they got right above it saying no tunes allowed.
It's funny.
Okay, Holly.
Okay, so this is kind of a sad one, but as we know, Walt Disney died on December 15th, 1966. And in the One Man's Dream, the museum over there, there is a clock, and it is set to 9:30, which is the time that he was pronounced dead.
Wow.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I did not know that.
It's just so crazy, those little details, just like that, a time, a number. And I can't help but think every time I'm walking through the parks, when you see a number, like, you know, every single number all over the parks has to do with something. But yeah, I had no idea the time of death.
You're right. That is sad. That is, yeah.
When you said pronounced dead, you mean frozen, right? Just making sure.
Oh my gosh. Here we go.
Yeah.
That would be a good episode. Disney myths.
I think we did do that one.
Really?
I think we did do that one. Yeah, because I remember my mom believed it whole heart and soul that Walt was frozen. And he was waiting. He was cryogenically frozen and waiting for a time when he could be brought to life. Yeah. As she got older, she realized how kind of silly
But right
that
now
was.
would not be a good time.
Can you imagine if he woke up
Maybe it would
now?
be, because then he can pick a new seat. Never mind.
Hey, Dan.
All right. Stan, are you going to go Muppet Vision?
No, actually, I don't have anything Muppets at all, if you could believe it.
What?
I know. There's a ton of them in Muppets.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So I
could do a whole show on Muppets.
I purposely did not go Muppet Vision because I thought you would. But I went to next.
I figured you thought I would.
You see, passengers, this is what I talk about when we're doing that whole reverse psychology where I don't believe them, like, because of things like this. In the Friends episode, I don't know that they know that I know that you know.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But yeah, that one is so funny.
All right. So I didn't go Muppet Vision, but I did go Pizza Rizzo. And some people may say, Pizza Rizzo. There is a lot in Pizza Rizzo. It is why it is one of my favorite quick services. And I know, I get it. Pizza's not that good. It's not about the pizza, folks. It's about the stuff that you can see when you're in Pizza Rizzo. So the first thing I'll say about it is it took over for what?
I think it was like it was originally going to be whatever they originally had planned for. It didn't work out, so they ended up making it like a museum type thing where they would have props and stuff from the movies.
Okay, but before, what restaurant was it? It was Pizza Planet.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Pizza Planet.
I'm going back to when it first opened.
So when you're first looking right at it, it says Pizza Rizzo, and then it says right next to it, the best pizza on the planet, but the words the best, and on the are very, very tiny. So really what it says when you're looking at it quickly is Pizza Rizzo, Pizza Planet. Which is a pretty cool nod, right? If you get into where you order, you could look around on the walls, and there's a whole backstory about Papa Rizzo, who I guess it was Rizzo's dad, who originally opened the first pizzeria in New York. And there's all these little things. There's a tiny little apron that a rat would wear.
How cute.
There's a picture of the sponsored Little League team named the Little Rats.
That's so cute.
And there's a coupon that says it's for a free slice that will, quote, it's only valid next week. Which is like a typical Muppet joke, right? Because every time you bring it in, it's not valid
next week.
Right.
That ranks up there with the one where they have the soup prices. And if you get no soup, it's more expensive than if you were to get the smaller or the medium.
Where's that?
When you're standing in line to get into Muppet Vision.
Oh,
it has the menu, and it has like a small is like $1.89, a large is like $2, and then no soup is like $3 or $2.89 or something. Yeah, go ahead.
Great. All right, next one. Next is you have Rizzo's framed first dollar bill on the wall. Only there's an IOU from Pepe the Prawn. Saying, sorry,
he took it. I gotta go to this place.
How can you not laugh at
I've never been in there. Other than like for a private thing.
Well, not even going in, but from the outside, you have the neon light, the Pizza Rizzo sign, and it says the city's top-rated pizza. And every like 30 seconds, the neon will like fade out, and it'll say it's rat pizza. How cool is that? Right?
I never even noticed that either.
I've sat there and I've waited for the neon and then tried to take the picture of it saying it's Rat's Pizzas.
Okay.
The phone number for Pizza Rizzo is RA7, which is Rat, right? RA7. All the records on the wall, they have like framed like gold records. Every single one of them are real records, like real music, but it either contains the word mouse, rat, or pizza. Every single one.
Oh, really? Okay.
And they also have like playbills for plays on Broadway that all contain the word like of mice and men, things like that.
Oh, that's funny.
That's cool. That is really
I have
cool.
a couple more. I can go ahead. Here.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
The upstairs eating area. This is actually a really good one. The upstairs part of Pizza Rizzo is Rizzo's banquet hall, where you could do different events.
Yeah, it looks like an Italian 70s wedding.
Yep.
That's where I've been in there.
There's a sign that says it holds 150 adults or 875 rats, either or. And it also has what they quote as one-time state of the art sound system. At one time, it was.
At one time, it
was. There's a sign outside the hall. You guys know those like I don't know what they're like felt, and they have the white letters, and you could arrange little white letters to say like so and so's wedding.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's got that, and it says somebody got married, which is obviously a nod to Muppets Take Manhattan. And the people that are getting married are Gil and Lil, daughters of Will and Jill, son of Bill and Phil. If you guys know Muppets Take Manhattan.
Yes.
That's a clever nod to them. Music is going to be done by who, Stan? Who do you think?
Electric Mayhem?
Exactly, right? But if you look closely, there's letters that are faded. You really have to go up there. And before that event, there was another event there. It was Pa Otter's memorial service.
Awesome.
Emmett Otter's
husband.
Dad, who he references, passed away before the actual episode. And under the band who's playing for there, it says it was going to be the Frogtown Hollow Jubilee Jug Band, which is
is so cool.
Really cool.
That is
I'm
really
surprised you have not been in there, Stan. That's
I
crazy.
know. I've never eaten there. I think I said I've eaten there once, and it was like part of a tour, and we ate in the Italian wedding part, and they just kind of whisked us up there, and it was like snackies type of thing. It was it was after the park closed one night.
There's probably a lot more. There's a lot of Gonzo's like toilet company. Like there's a whole bunch of like ads for that. But those are the ones that I knew off the top of my head.
Those are really cool. I'm gonna have to go there now. Oh, hey, that's another one on my bucket list. See, I usually go to the Backlot Express, and there's a lot of stuff inside there that's to look at that's really cool. But yeah, I got to check out the Muppets one for sure. I'm gonna go back to the Keystone Street. It's a really small street, but there's a faux front of a building, and it's like the back of the Keystone Closers building. And it says, so when Walt and Roy Disney set up their first studio in Los Angeles, they rented from Hawley and Vermont Retail Company for $10 a month in 1923. This is what they really did. And it was here that they shot some of their Alice's Wonder shorts in the early 20s. And in 2025, they needed more room. So they moved to the space next door, which was a larger room. So if you look at that building, the top window there's a for rent sign, which indicates that Walt and Roy no longer are there, and they're next door where they're working now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Which is kind of cool to see that. If you see that for rent sign, that's the reason why it's there.
Cool.
Alrighty.
Okay, so Rockin' Roller Coaster. I know you've never ridden this, Dan, so you probably have no idea. But in every ride car, there's a different Aerosmith song playing, and
There is.
I'm like,
Yep.
echoing. And
every ride has a different Aerosmith song. Every car. Yep.
Yeah, every ride car, and you know the song "Love in an Elevator." So they re-recorded that to say "Love on a Roller Coaster." So for that particular song, they changed the words.
Really?
Yeah. So that's
I
pretty
did not
cool.
know that.
And that's how the ride ends. It's "Love on a Roller Coaster."
I did not know that. And I did know that there's over 900. It has more speakers, I think, than any other attraction. It has like 900 speakers in that attraction.
Wow.
Plus, your car ride vehicle, like your seat, has 4 speakers, as well as a bass speaker under your seat as well.
Yeah. So that's where the music comes out. Each ride has a different song that plays over and over. Each car. So
It's actually a really good ride. It really is.
It is awesome.
Well, plus another 900 speakers along the ride too.
Yep.
So I'll have to watch a video one day of it or something. It has a cool chicken exit. I've done that. Okay, Dan, where are you at?
So I'm going to jump on the Rock and Roller Coaster to add a few more since we're talking about it. The license plates of the ride vehicles. You guys know what those are? There's all different funny like letters and numbers put together. So one of them is "Too Fast for You." One says "You Go Babe." One says "One Quick Limo." And one says "Hate H8." So hate traffic.
Okay.
So that's a pretty.
I think a lot of those wouldn't pass through. Like, like they would get denied.
Probably not. Also, when you're in the queue, you have a lot of like hustle and bustle going on because you're supposed to be like in the city, and they're doing a lot of like calling people over the intercom, and they're calling all different Imagineers that worked on the show, and then on the ride. And also, there is one where, because they also do a lot of references to different types of music. So one of them is they're yelling, "Hey Jude, where are you? Hey Jude." Along with a guitar, and the guitar says "Thank you, Vera." So very much like Elvis would have pronounced it.
Okay.
So I didn't know that one.
I didn't know any of these. These are all new to me. I did hear about the license plates, so I think I heard about those. But yeah, these are all new to me. Very good.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay around the Echo Lake area. There's an overlook area between the 50s Primetime Restaurant and Hollywood and Vine. And in between these two restaurants, you'll see there's a staircase, which shows the entrance to the Echo Lake apartments. A quick glance, it appears that there isn't a lot to see here. However, when you get closer to where the apartments are, there's these mailboxes. And on these mailboxes, there's all these different names. And these are all the Imagineers that worked on the Echo Lake area of Disney Hollywood Studios. So something to check out next time you're there.
Cool. Okay. I think we could do a whole episode just on Toy Story Land.
Toy Story Land.
So I don't even know if I should even start on it. But
I avoided Toy Story Land and Muppets.
You can start with one, Holly, and then I'll jump on jump on Rock and Roller Coaster and add one.
When you first enter the land, you come across Woody, and I think it's 20 feet tall, and it's so you instantly feel smaller. So you're supposed to be technically like shrunk down to kid size. So all of the things are made to be larger, so feel smaller.
You're like the size of a Green Army man.
Yes, exactly.
Supposed to be like.
So that's how you enter, with this huge Woody right there. Oh my gosh.
There's a huge Woody right there.
Jay, please cut that out. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Is this like an old station wagon you're talking about, or is it like a doll?
Yes, oh my gosh.
Did anyone see the Pam and Tommy show yet? No, never mind.
Kind of like the Peter Pan, the pee-pee on the tree. I need to really get about what I'm saying. Oh my goodness.
Dan, you want to go next? Because we lost Holly for the next 3 minutes.
We need to leave it silent.
Something
so
about
they can
Woody,
cut that
but,
out.
I'll jump on. I'll jump in now, Polyadia. Right in front of Woody's lunchbox, you have Dominoes. I was gonna say giant dominoes, but I guess they're regular sized dominoes because we're shrunk down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you also have the some letter blocks with letters on them, like children letters, children blocks. And do you know what the dominoes are set up to say? And the block?
1138.
That is actually it. Yep. It's A113, which for those that don't know.
I meant Star Wars 1138. A113 I meant.
C3PO, what?
He's giving us his PIN number.
A113, which is the room that a whole bunch of the Pixar artists or animators were in back in Cal Arts. They all studied, and that A113 is in every single Pixar movie. So I thought it was a nice touch that they also put it in Toy Story Land as well.
It is, yeah.
It is, yeah. Yeah, because you could do it with the dominoes and the blocks, or you could do it with just the blocks as well. When you look at it.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, I think Holly's going to tell us about her Buzz toy now.
I'm so done. I'm so done. Oh my gosh. Okay. On Slinky Dog Dash, there is when you pass under, there's a collar of Andy's dog, and on the collar, when you pass under it, you can see the address of it was Andy's address.
Oh,
234 Elm Street, but it's only on the back, so you have to go under and then look back up so you can see that.
Right. So when you're going underneath it, what you see is the wait time and the standby time in digital. But if you turn around and you look at the back of it, that's where you'll see Andy's address on the back of
Very cool.
The dog tag. A little bit more Rocketeer. So the Sci-Fi dine-in restaurant. If you wander briefly around the theater, you may see some props. On the left side and down to the right, near the bottom of the back, there's a gold front cover of the South Seas Club menu secured under plexiglass. And the South Seas Club was the scene for the showdown between the Rocketeer and the villain, Neville Sinclair, in the movie. So this is it's a replica of the menu from the movie from the Rocketeer.
Mm-hmm.
But you go a little bit further down, just before the entrance to the main dining area, high on the left wall, hanging from the ceiling, is an actual Rocketeer helmet that was used in the movie.
Another Rocketeer helmet.
Another Rocketeer, yeah.
I should probably watch this movie.
Right.
You should. Yeah, you should.
I was thinking the same thing.
Hey, Holly.
Okay, so going back to Toy Story. So the queue at Toy Story Mania, it's like a homage to all of our childhoods, right? So there is several toys and games that you can spot if you look through the queue. Some of them are Lincoln Logs, Peter Pan Viewmaster Reel. Did you guys have those? The little Viewmasters?
Yep, yeah, Viewmaster,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Of course.
Dominoes, which we've talked about, Candyland, Chutes and Ladders, crayons, playing cards, and a barrel of monkeys. I love the barrel monkeys. I think they're so funny how they're hanging all over. So that's fun to go through there and see all those games. That's like one of the best queues ever, I think. It's so happy and colorful, and I just love it. I'm signing off now.
Well, and like the roof is like a checkerboard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There's like a lot of really cool. Isn't there like an operation in there too, like an operation game or something?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, there's a ton of the whole area is made up with games,
and they have
so
a lot.
Cute.
If you go in, they have a lot of the like when you first buy a game, you have to push out the paper like figures.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
and you'll see the openings of what was pushed out, and then later on in the queue, you'll actually see like the Candyman, Gingerbread Man, like that was cut out.
So
Yeah.
cute.
Just kind of going off that really quick is which is really cute is the Cooties. And do you know where they are?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, there's the Cooties Game, which is a game where you have these little plastic cooties and you got to.
They look like little ants,
and they hop. It's like ants.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes.
It's a little plastic game. Do you know where the Cooties are located in Toy Story Land?
No.
Well, if you're a boy, who has Cooties?
Girls.
Right. So it's above the girls' washroom. Is where he put the Cooties.
How funny! That is so funny. That kind of sounds familiar now. That's funny.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, Dan.
Well, I'll agree that the queue is great, but it's not the best queue. The best queue in all of Walt Disney World is the Tower of Terror. Now, my favorite TV show of all time is the Twilight Zone. I'm not sure if you guys know that, but every New Year's Day they have the Twilight Zone marathon. And since I can watch TV, I can remember on New Year's Day I cuddle up with the blanket and all I do is sit and watch Twilight Zone all day long.
It is a great series.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah.
So the queue in Tower of Terror has all these little nods to all different Twilight Zone episodes. One of the better ones is the broken glasses. Does everyone know what episode that was? No, Holly's shaking her head.
No.
I've watched
like one episode and I was done in as a child because it had to do with somebody flying and they look outside and there's like some monster on the wings of the plane.
That was William Shatner.
William Shatner was the passenger in that one.
I can still to this day when I fly, I'm scared to look outside at nighttime when I'm flying that there's going to be a monster on the wings.
Not all of the episodes are scary like that one, right? So this one with the broken glasses, the episode's called Time Enough to Last, and it's about a guy who all he wants to do is read his whole life. And then there's a atomic bomb and he's the only person left in the world and he's at the front steps of a library. So he's all excited and he sits down and what happens? He breaks his glasses. So now he's stuck not being able to see, right? So
which is like doesn't make any sense at all because he's the only person left in the world. You know how many reading glasses there would be on the planet at this point? Like, go get another pair of glasses, dude. Like, seriously, just sit there and cry. That's true. Fine. I don't care. I'm dead anyways. The planet's gone.
But some of the other ones, my favorite episode of all time is To Serve Man. For those that don't know what that is it sounds like a good title, right? To Serve Man. And the aliens come down from Mars and they're here to serve man. And the whole time they're trying to figure out what the book is, like decode this giant book that they have. And it turns out the book is, Holly, any guess what type of book it is? The main line of the episode, it's a cookbook. So when they say to serve man, they were not speaking of it in that sense.
And all these episodes are not scary. You're trying to tell me they're not scary as you
Well, if you're in the library part of the queue, you'll see the book To Serve Man, which I think
that's pretty cool.
And there's so many more. We could do a whole episode on the queue of Tower of Terror, but there's just the entire queue is stacked with Twilight Zone episode references.
Yeah, don't they have like the wooden head dummy from the episode?
Yeah.
Where the dummy talks to the guy.
Yep. They have the pop-up device from the Nick of Time episode, the metal robot from the Invaders episode, a bunch of other things. Those are just some of the ones that I wrote down.
This one really isn't kind of a hidden thing. This is more of like a history of Hollywood Studios. And did you know that originally it wasn't meant to be a park? Hollywood Studios. It was originally pitched that it was going to be one of the pavilions at Epcot. Was the original idea. And they kind of over time, it was going to be in Future World. There was going to be a pavilion in Future World that was going to be kind of showing about how movies were made. And I guess they decided that there was so much to do here that they decided to make it a park. But the weird thing is, you know how many attractions are still open from the opening day?
Like
Zero.
zero. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. 0. There is no attractions left because there was only 2 rides when it opened.
Mm.
There was the Great Movie Ride, which closed recently, and
the Backlot Tour.
That was all there
Wow.
was the 2 rides. So they figured they had this great idea of making this park. They opened with two rides. All right,
Sounds
Ollie.
like Galaxy. I think I'm out,
Sounds like
and I
Galaxy
don't think I
Edge,
should
yeah.
proceed with any more. I think
Stan, we got to just mention some of the Muppet ones. Can we just do it like real quick? Like,
Yeah,
I don't
go
know,
ahead,
name
yeah.
like 1 or 2 of your
Yeah, you
favorite
name one,
ones.
only one. Yeah.
I'll go with. So we're talking about the Muppet Q, or actually Muppet
Theater,
or anything.
the show, whatever.
I'll say the Key Under the Mat is a great
I
one.
was gonna
right?
say, yeah,
Everyone
do that
knows
one. That was my favorite one.
Yeah.
So there's.
Of course,
it
let's
says,
explain that one instead of
it
just
says,
saying it.
I don't. What does the sign say? Closed. Key is
Back
under
in
the mat.
5 minutes. Key under mat.
Right.
That's at the ticket booth, walking into the Muppet Theater.
Yep. And what you can do is you could lift the mat, and right there is the key. So you could always find the key.
Which
That's
I
actually
have
what it
mentioned this before. The last year when we went, Simon saw that sign, and of course, being Simon, he's like, "I'm gonna go look under the mat," and I'm like, "There is not gonna be a key under the mat. Are you kidding me? You're not gonna be able to lift that up." And he's like, "Look." I'm like, "Oops."
And it's not really like something that you would normally walk on because it's kind of behind a stanchion where you have to
Yeah.
kind of go around
Yeah,
the stanchion
you
to
gotta
get
go around.
to it. Yeah.
My all-time favorite
My
one
turn.
is. Going back and forth. I have. A
Yeah,
couple,
we'll go back and forth. We'll go back and
Okay,
forth.
go back and forth. Go.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll go. So the other one that I have is when you're in the queue room for Muppet Vision 3D, you're standing in the middle of the room and you look up straight up, and hanging on the ceiling is a picture of a Jim Henson Muppet,
Yeah.
which is a real cool one.
Oh, I don't think I've actually seen that one. I thought you were going somewhere else.
Yeah, no, it's kind of harder to see. You have to be in the right spot, and you have to sort of look, because there's kind of these metal beams. You have to sort of stand in the right spot, but if you stand kind of in the middle of the room, you'll see it.
Well, you'd probably have to look around these boxes of Jello gelatin, which is covered in a giant cargo net. And the reason that is there is because that's an ode to who, Stan?
A net full of Jello.
A net full of Jello, exactly. A net full of Jello, one of the original Musketeers, and above you, you have a net full of Jello.
That's funny. I never heard of that one. That's pretty good.
Okay, so this one here is if you want to get a selfie with Sweetums, and I've tried this and I could not do it. I was not fast enough. I was not quick enough. You have to be very quick with your phone, and you have to be standing in the right spot. But during the pre-show, when you're waiting, Sweetums comes into the room just for very briefly, and he grabs his flashlight and then goes back out. So if you're standing there, you could catch him in there if you're in the right spot and get a quick selfie with Sweetums coming to grab his flashlight and heading back out again, back into the theater.
Good.
That's good.
All right, you want to do one more round?
Sure.
All right. The Penguins, the orchestra, when you first walk in, the Penguins are there, and they have their sheet music there, but they never actually look at the sheet music throughout the entire show. But if you look closely at the sheet music, it is actually the music to Rainbow Connection.
I did not know that.
Oh,
Very well themed. Very good.
Yep.
That one's really good.
nice.
So now that we're in the theater and we're watching the show, the scene where Miss Piggy is singing and they give her that rope to hold on, and it's attached to this motorboat, and the motorboat takes off. If you look really closely, if you watch that, it happens very quickly. Miss Piggy loses her hair. Her hair
Really?
flies off and stays on shore. And that was done on purpose because they weren't sure how many takes it would take. And for them to have to replace, to dry her off and to dry off her hair would take a really long time between takes. So with this way, they could just take the hair. It's already dry because it never got in the water. And they were able to dry her off, put it back on, do a second take. Plus, her wigs are very expensive, and they don't want to get also in the water. So that's what you look for.
That's funny.
Stan, I think we can go on all night doing this.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. One thing that I want to say that I found out while doing some research for this is we're all familiar with the Chinese theater is an exact replica of the Chinese theater, or very similar, not exact, but it's the facade, the front is very
I
similar.
have seen some side-by-side photos. You can't tell. Like in some photos,
it's supposed to be exact.
Well, you could kind of, like, especially on the top, you could sort of tell. But I've taken pictures of both and taken pictures that.
Well, yeah, the one in Florida doesn't have all the homeless hanging around.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I'll do one more while I'm there. Audrey Hepburn's footprints in front of the theater. So those footprints, of course, are all real footprints that were done in Disney Hollywood Studios. You had the actors come with a big production, and they took their handprints and their footprints or whatever at Disney Hollywood Studios. So they invited Audrey Hepburn to come and do hers. And after she did it at Disney, the Chinese theater in Hollywood invited her, and she turned it down. She didn't want to do it again.
Wow.
So the only place you could see her handprints and footprints is at Disney Hollywood Studios, which is kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, so while I was doing, there's the facades of the two Chinese theaters. Most of the buildings down Hollywood Boulevard, Sunset Boulevard, around Echo Lake, are replicas of different buildings in Hollywood and LA. So
I had no idea until you mentioned this.
Yeah. So I want to do a bit more research on this. I want to get pictures of the actual buildings from LA and Hollywood, and then the pictures from the buildings at Disney Hollywood Studios. And coming up on a live show, we're going to talk about that. We're going to show the pictures of what these buildings were originally meant to be. Like, for example, the one at the building, the gift shop that has Pluto on top, the neon Pluto. Mm-hmm. In Hollywood, there's a building that's very similar to it, but it's a veterinarian store. It was originally a veterinarian, and there's a dog on top of the veterinarian place. Yeah. And so they made that they recreated it for Hollywood Studios, the facade. So yeah, so I'm going to do a bit more research for that. And coming up shortly, we're going to do that on a live show. This will be on a Monday night on our live show coming up soon. Keep track of our Instagram, Facebook pages, and we're going to be posting when that's going to be coming up. Speaking of the Instagram, we want to talk about that a bit?
Yep,
sure.
Give us a follow. At Grand Circle Tour Podcast.
Very easy to remember, but go ahead. We're approaching 5,000. I think we'll.
Yeah, right now we're doing host introductions. So all of us has done a quick bio and a fun photo, and I've been posting those every other day. So those are fun.
Very cool.
Get to know our hosts.
So our Instagram is getting popular, and as well as our Facebook page, Magic Ticket Holders. Be sure to check us out there as well. We're all posting stuff every day. There's something happening there, and we'd like you to join in. Let us know what you thought of this show or past shows, or what you would like to see in future shows. Communicate with us. So let us know how you're doing. We want to know if you have a trip planned, if you have any questions about tips or anything like that. We'll have you on a future mail show or something like that. Definitely. Any final thoughts?
I just wanted to say I was listening to the mailbag episode, and the letter that Jason Garcia sent in, that really made my eyes water. It was so sweet and so sincere. And that's what we're talking about. We love interacting. It's no fun to just have one-sided conversation. So we love the comments and interacting and feedback. And when we ask a question, we really want to know your thoughts. So that was a really, really special episode and such a nice letter. So.
Speaking of interacting, if you're going to be in Walt Disney World the third week of August, hit me up. Maybe we'll do some meetups. That would be great.
That's awesome. Well, thank you two for joining us today. And Ken, take it away. Chewy mode. Forgot to talk about Chewy mode.
If you would like to keep the adventure going after the show, be sure to like our Facebook friends page, Grand Circle Tours Magical Ticket Holders. While you're on Facebook, like our group page, Grand Circle Tours. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Grand Circle Tours Podcast, as well as on Instagram, GCT Podcast, and our YouTube channel, Grand Circle Tour. If you would like to email us, drop us a line at gctpodcast@gmail.com. T-shirts and other fun merchandise can be found at tpublic.com. Simply search Grand Circle Tour Podcast. If you enjoyed your adventure, leave us a review on Apple Podcast. Only one rule, make it good. All logos, sounds, songs, and music that are made by and for Disney and its affiliates are the full ownership of the Disney Corporation and are not, nor are they intended to be, the ownership of the Grand Circle Tour podcast. Thank you for riding with us, and welcome home.
Please exit to your left by stepping away from the cars with your left foot first. Step out and stand on the moving platform, please.
Please exit by stepping away from the cars with your left foot first. Step out and stand on the moving platform, please.